Hey there, name's Roderick Hilliard. I'll be doing the ITA takeover today. Can't wait to show you what I go through for a normal day of e-learning, and thank you for joining me on the Instagram story as well too. First thing first, it's pretty early right now. It's about 6:20, 6:19. I normally get up around 5:30, 6 o'clock just to start my day, make coffee, watch the sunrise, and you get to watch it with me. See, told you, another beautiful sunrise. Even though Bangkok has a bit of an air pollution, I love the gradient every morning. This is beautiful. I get to wake up to this, so sure as heck beats Chicago. So usually I start every morning with my breakfast, coffee, oatmeal. I catch up on YouTube. I love Pokemon Nuzlocke runs, so I'm watching that to usually just get my mind ready. Everything's planned for classes, just relaxation. So I ate breakfast and brushed my teeth and washed my face, and now I'm absolutely ready for class. I still have a little bit of time, so I usually just boot up my computer, make sure my lessons and my tabs are open as well too. But I will add the Ask Me Anything question or little box right here. So please start sending in questions that you have for me, whether you want to get to know me a little bit more personally or ask more specialized questions. So if you have any specialized questions about Thailand or Bangkok specifically, please put them in right here and I'll get to them as quickly as I can throughout the day as well. But I'll answer them while I'm done teaching classes. All right, class number 1 is done. I have like an hour break right now. So I'm gonna look through some of the responses in the question box and what is it like living here with COVID restrictions? A little frustrating, a little annoying, but it's okay because end of the day, you know that the government's trying, but it's just very confusing. And the reason why it's so confusing and a little bit frustrating at times is because, at least in Thailand, the way that the government works, yes, they'll announce new measures, they'll announce new rules. However, they will not go into effect until they are printed in something called the Royal Gazette. So it's like an official letterhead with the Thai King's seal at the top and like the official wording of what this new law, restriction, or anything like that. So every week, almost every month, almost every day, there could be a new rule coming in. They're saying they're holding an important meeting, but nothing's official until it's in the Gazette, and you hear all this information coming in. So it's like what to keep up with, what's real, what's true, what's actually happening. In that sense, is very frustrating as well. And as far as how I found this job as well too, I saw a couple of questions about that. Before I came to Thailand, I did two things. I was prepared for coming here on a tourist visa and just hitting the ground running, going to schools and interviewing for positions in language schools and actual schools. So I came up with a list. I actually put them all in Google Maps so I know exactly where they are, how to get there as well too. But I also went ahead and see if I could apply to an agency as well, and that's exactly what I did. I applied to BFits Thailand. I'll put their Instagram account here. So luckily I did an interview with them and it was very quick, very fast, very easy. I had my bachelor's, I obviously had my TEFL certificate from ITA, and it was just all systems go as well too. So they made it very easy and possible. So because I found a job in advance, I was able to go to the Thai consulate in Chicago and apply for a non-B immigrant visa, which speeds up the process of getting a work permit as well too. So I think that that's one benefit about applying with an agency and finding a job before you arrive here. That's one less step, one less worry about upgrading your tourist visa to a non-B visa to get the work permit. It's one less step, one less worry, one less concern as well too, because the agency helps takes care of everything for you. And again, you can just focus on more about teaching and trying to be a great teacher versus immigration appointment. I need to schedule that, how to get there, things like that as well too. Why Thailand? Because I'm from Chicago. It's winter right now, and I don't want to deal with snow. So I wanted to come here. I wanted to do something different. That's the main reason. But I haven't lived anywhere else. I lived in a few places in the States, but I spent most of my life in Chicago and Chicagoland as well. But I mean, I've traveled a lot. I've traveled to Japan, I've been to Ghana, I've been to Canada, I've been to Mexico, I've been to the Caribbean. So little journeys like that as well too. But this is the furthest I've been away from home. This is the longest I've been away from home. And I do like it, but I do miss home as well too. I do get homesick at times, but don't worry, I'll be back home to visit family and things like that as well too, and to take care of a couple other things. Oh man, these in-depth questions, they're just gonna get tangents from me. Oh my gosh. So how did I know I wanted to be an English teacher? Uh, I'll start a new one for that. So when I wanted to do something different because I was tired of working in restaurants, I decided that I'll become a teacher. I get to travel a bit and I can see maybe this could be a different career path for me as well. So now that I'm 2 years into this and moved away from restaurants and hospitality, I don't regret it. I definitely have a better work-life balance with this. Yes, it's a little bit more demanding, but less physical. But it's definitely a career that I don't mind doing into the future. So much so that I've decided to start looking at master's programs for teaching and education as well, because I would love to work in an international school or university to make a little bit more money, but well, not a little bit, but more money, and also just look at more opportunities and staying abroad permanently instead of in the United States. Is Thailand requiring teachers to vaccinate? Safe answer is absolutely yes, but then again, it also just depends on the school as well. I have an instance of like this happening at my school as well too. I have maybe one or two colleagues that do not want to get vaccinated, and they're still working with us because we're not teaching on campus or in person. So for the time being, they're still employed. However, it seems like many schools are moving towards all teachers and all students and all staff are vaccinated as well. Thailand has even gone as far as giving free vaccines to the students. That way they are prepared. So they either got Pfizer or AstraZeneca here in Thailand. I myself, I got vaccinated as well too, and I'm still waiting on the third dose as well. The school did not take care of the vaccination process for me either. I had to do it myself. What are my work hours like, and do I have a lot of prep to do at home? This is my second year teaching, so first year, definitely a lot of prep. Now, not so much. So I am contracted to work from 7:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon. That's according to my contract. However, it might be different per school. So my school, normally school gets out at 3:30. So after 3:30, I can be done with classes. Taking a look at my schedule, actually, I'll show you right here. You can see that my classes, they all begin at period 1 at 8:10 in the morning. However, my last class is until 2:30 in the afternoon as well. So technically, I can be done at 2:30. However, I spend that time grading assignments, making sure that I get the next assignment posted or scheduled to get posted in my learning management system, which is Google Classroom as well too. And since this is year 2, and I've already taught the material before in the previous year, I just have to update it or add more information. I am teaching girls between the ages of 12 and 15 years old. Also in that age bracket for secondary school, they go by Matignon. So Matignon 1, 2, and 3. And the other question was, do I create my own lesson plans? Yes, I do. And again, ITA does a fantastic job of teaching you how to get started with those lesson plans. And I know when I was in the class online doing that, it's frustrating because you're like, I can't imagine how it would go in class because you have to think of imaginary students. However, if you just have the basics, if you know what you're doing for the objective and the steps just to get there to get through the lesson, it's an excellent start. Because once you have your students, once you actually have like a textbook that you know that they're teaching from and know what the subject is, you can start developing your own rhythm and pattern as well too. So I always go over with my students, usually in a PowerPoint slide, of how to introduce the grammar, going over the rules and when to see it. Then I start introducing and spoon feeding them examples as well. Hey there, so I'm done teaching classes finally for the day, and I left my girlfriend in the room. I like to try and get out since I teach from home for the past year just to keep my sanity. I like to try to just leave the house even for an hour, maybe 2 hours, just get work done somewhere else as well too. Technically I'm still on the clock until 4:30, 3:30, so really I'd like to take this time just to get outside, find a cafe, and just do some grading. And normally that's all I do for the rest of the day. Maybe I'll schedule my assignments as well, but that's part of the reason of getting up early, making sure everything's ready to go. So we're gonna look for a cafe, and then I'm just gonna do some extra work. That's about it. So now that I'm done for today, or for now, with a lot of my grading, let me get out the way here. Just walking back home, and I'm actually behind this mall called Mall Tapa as well too. So as you can see, there's lots of little stores, always busy traffic back here as well too. So restaurants, cell phones, massage parlors. There's also, I believe, a barber shop or two back here as well. Oh, that's a dog groomer. I didn't even realize that. There goes a dog groomer right there. See, learn random things. So, just walking along. So, to give you a slight idea of where I live in a district called Thonburi in Bangkok, and it's actually on the west side of the river. So I'm away from Sukhumvit and from the busyness of downtown. So here you'll find a lot smaller traditional Thai apartments like this building here, this one here. Nice little playground as well. When I first moved down to this neighborhood, and which is not too far, there used to be a night market that would take up this entire street. However, because of COVID, the night market had to move, and for a long period of time it was actually canceled as well too. So lots of changes has happened since then. Walking up, probably just before the little story ends, I'll show you exactly which building I'm in because it's not too far away. So if we look over there, on that building right there. Should be better, right? You can see me easier? I hope so. It's very bright out. It's about 4:45, still very bright out. Probably got another 2 hours of sunlight as well. But as you can tell, and as you can hear, it's just very quiet here, and I absolutely love that. There's lots of families, of course, in this area, smaller Thai houses. Like literally my condo is on the main busy street, so it kind of blocks away the noise as well too. So that's very beneficial. I like that as well too. And as I was saying, you can see behind me, all along this street there used to be a night market here, and you can find anything: groceries, fresh fruit, live fish, stores that had like used shoes and whatever else you may want, clothes. You can find it here, but it's gone now. So this is the soy that I probably walked down the most. Back behind me, there's actually a night market over there as well. But I also do some produce shopping along this street as well. Mostly fruits, fruit produce. There's usually a fruit stall on the left. It should be coming up soon that I'd like to get fruit from. And then way down near the end of the soy, just before I go back to the main street, there's also another place I like to get some fruit from as well too. So I just got back to my condominium. I'm actually on the 7th floor, and it's obviously significantly quieter up here, but you still hear the rumbles of traffic out there. I'm standing outside in the garden area. As you can see, I'm the only one here. I think it's mostly because nobody wants to invade anyone's privacy, seeing that, boom, right there, 7th floor, you have a direct view into the garden. So not good, not the best, but I mean, you get to enjoy this view as well. Even the construction of another condominium as well. You can see the BTS, which is the Bangkok train system, to come in and out. Also, you see off in the distance that beautiful Buddha, one of my favorites as well. That's Wat Pak Nam, and I think it's fantastic as well too. So definitely worth seeing if you're here in Thailand. Wat Pak Nam, and it's where you can actually find the Emerald Buddha statue inside. So on the 7th floor right now, and let's just take a quick. There's obviously a check-in desk for COVID. We also have a rec TV as well too if you don't want to watch TV in your room. Obviously we have a fitness center full with weights, treadmills, bicycles as well too. Even a pool table. And then up here we actually have a library. Now let's head out to the pool as well. Short answer to this is yes, there are South Africans here, South African teachers here. Have I met them? Honestly, no. But you can definitely use a Jarn to look for a job here in Thailand. I don't see why not. It's also very common practice for Filipino teachers to be hired as well too. However, there is a stigma with Filipino teachers, they do get paid less. I think what will matter most if you are a non-native English speaker, despite having a TEFL certificate, despite having a Bachelor's of Science or Bachelor's of Art, and you have all the prerequisites check as well. What matters most is, can you proficiently teach? That's really it, in my opinion. But again, I'm not an expert. I am an American citizen, so I can only speak from my experience as well. You actually had two questions, whoever added this one. The first one is, I've been here for, it will be 2 years this March. Yeah, it will be 2 years this March. And then the second part, as far as being an African-American male with dreadlocks in Thailand, that was actually another reason why I decided to come here, because out of all the Asian countries that you can teach at, Southeast Asia, just this region in general, they're a bit more loose and relaxed and less contingent about your presentation as far as hair and certain things as well. Like, I also have tattoos, I have long hair, and I am obviously much darker than what the stereotypical English teacher may be as well. But honestly, it's been a great experience. The last vacation I went with my girlfriend, I actually had a little boy come up to me and said to me, "I want hair like yours when I'm older." and he's Thai, and I thought that was really neat. He asked me how did I get my hair, and I told him exactly. So it's a good experience too boring or weird. But thank you so much to ITA for letting me take over their Instagram account. Greatly appreciated as well too. It's been a long time coming. I tried to do this twice, but things were just so hectic with COVID. Glad that I was finally able to do it. For anyone out there that wants to talk about Thailand or talk about where I work or what do I use to teach, you can look up there. You can follow my Instagram handle, Rada Worldwide. I know I have it set to private, mostly because I don't want my students to find me, but please just send me a message. I'll add it. I'll be more than happy to talk to you about anything. And thank you again so much. Peace. Bye-bye.